to maintain peace, equity, and justice, and asked the paramount rulers from the 31 local government areas to reciprocate his gesture in their respective domains of the state. Of course, he made this known when he played host to the paramount ruler yesterday, drawn from across the 31 local government areas as a way of resolving the lingering issue around the leadership of the President General of the Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers at the State Executive Council chambers. So, of course, the governor promised to sit down with the paramount rulers to look into how the matter can be resolved, but also asked the case instituted against the state government by a cross-section of the paramount rulers of Anang, Oro, and Obolo extraction be withdrawn first so that government may not be in contempt of court. Of course, we saw that within the course of those meetings, different paramount rulers, the one for Oron Nation, had the paramount ruler of His Royal Majesty Akwa Zukwabang apologize on behalf of the paramount rulers from the Oron Nation, of course, for not attending the first meeting that was initially scheduled for the resolving of this case. Of course, that happened just in the week as of reactions from Akwa. We also saw the paramount ruler of Temekpo, His Royal Majesty Professor Madam Odo, apologizing to the governor for not being present at the earlier meeting. In this part, we also saw the paramount ruler of Ibesipo Sultan, Edidem Clement Ekpenyong, thanked the governor for calling the meeting and promised to work with his colleagues to resolve the issue. Now, like we said on the floor of the plenary yesterday, Akwa Ibom is the only state that we have, and if there is anything that we owe it to ourselves, we owe to each other, is to ensure that we do not whip up sentiments that will further drive the wage and the hammer of division. Of course, Governor Pastor Umoina had said consistently that he wants to unite and reconcile the state across party lines, across ethnicity and other sentiments. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. My name is Fred Morgan, calling from Guadalupe.
All right, welcome, Parliamentarian Morgan. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, first of all, I want to thank you so much. On Sunday, I saw you in the good embassy, like fine man, fine boy like you. I didn't know that day I will see you.
I'm flattered. Thank you. I'm sure you're also a very fine man.
I saw you, a very fine man. I like your style. And I want my son to be like you.
Thank you. I'm honored, sir.
So, what I want to contribute is that when we follow this thing small, so that we can see how this thing will be at the end. So we don't drag ourselves. People who work in that thing, they are working every day. So let's see at the end how everything will solve. Mr. Speaker, there is something Ambassador Samson said yesterday. I'm looking for good very seven number. I don't know how to get the number. It's sending message to good very seven. I want to have that number, good very seven.
Okay, you can just drop me a message on WhatsApp. I'll do well to share Mr. Simmons' number with you much later.
Wow, but the problem is that I use this small Android phone. And in case you see me that day in the Ambassador Samson compound, I am that physically challenged that you see. So, thank you very much. I didn't have an Android for support to use WhatsApp.
Okay, just send me a direct message 090-7787-1987 and I'll reciprocate by forwarding the contact to you. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Yes.
You call that number when I end this call. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, heading to our Facebook page to take some of the comments that we have this morning. We see Parliamentarian Hope Umor Jr. says, the People's Parliament. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Our leaders really don't have the people at heart. Why must they get an SUV worth 130 million while our economy is crawling? This is national robbery in disguise. I suggest that their salaries should be slashed to make them feel what the common man is facing. I pray that this 25,000 naira should find its way into my account. Okay, that's from Parliamentarian Hope Moore Jr. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome. Please walk away from your radio set and turn down its volume.
This is Black Boy calling from you.
All right.
Happy hour in advance.
Very early.
Yes, it's too early. I need to call so that if I cannot have chance on Thursday or Friday, I just start now to wish you happy hour. So that's not the crime.
All right, go ahead.
All right. In the issue of grant, well, first of all,
let me thank the governor of Akwa State. No matter, when two elephants is fighting, it's the grass that suffer. And you cannot be angry and go and settle any problem that we are having in the state or in your own house. You need to keep the anger face and settle the issue. So for the Paramalola that apologize for what they are doing, I want to welcome them also, because you need to humble yourself no matter anything. That is so that Akwa State need to work together and move forward. And at the same time, I want to thank my governor for more than 4 or 5 months now. They have decided to release the funds to pay for the primary school teacher and the graduates. That's a welcome development. You see, and people are happy. So I want to thank you. You should continue to do a good work. Then in the issue of cutting the cost of National Assembly, you see, the other political party have been that they wanted to collect for the car. When people say, what can rat can do with a car leg than putting dirty in that car leg? So what am I trying to say is that you are only 6 people in National Assembly. Are you going to say that you are going to oppose that thing for 100 and something people? They cannot. So the only thing is that they are speaking for the masses, but they will not accept. So the only thing is that I want to advise them, well, there's nothing we can do on this Nigeria since we don't have the right people that can able to speak for the masses. It is only few.
All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Welcome.
President of the Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers. The only thing that will bring this direct position is rotating whatever they call it, whether superior, whether supreme, whether not, should be rotating within the 21 local government of the state. When we talk of as a president, every state and the local government must have a short-term president. Any other thing, I don't think they will rotate. I want to commend the state government for the issue of procurement of gratuity and pension, because if the council administration has done what they have so far, I think it was good thing of the past. From the office handling this issue, before it starts tenure, I think the issue of pension of gratuity, the printing of the council would be a monthly basis, or during not 2016 as of now. I think he has done a good thing. I want to commend him for that. He has done a good thing. I thank him for that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, welcome, Parliamentarian.
Well, my name is Chiwan calling from you. I want to really thank you, first of all, and I also commend you for joy of the views actually answered this a very plenary with this parliament over time. I must say this is actually really a formulation. I really say God bless you. But let me give my contribution this morning. First of all, I want to really say this. I came for our governor who has been fit to release another 1.6 billion for the settlement of outstanding gratuity and pension in the state. I must say he has really done a mega blessing.
Amen.
He has proven to people that he is Christ-centric. And also, I want to kick against the issue of what you brought to the fore. The amount you mentioned was actually heart-wrenching. 1.3 billion. A million of SUV. I tell you, this is actually one thing that is not good to aid because of the state of poverty that developed this country that we are. I can do make out that we know already that are enriched already, and we are going out with that amount of 1.3 million, 120 million SUV. It's quite rather unfortunate. But I say God will help us and redeem us from this very and this situation that we are. Thank you very much. God bless you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Parliamentarian. God bless you too. And we do pray and hope God will help us out. But to the Parliamentarian who needed to get a contact, my number is 09077871987. I take that again, 09077871987. Once you drop me an SMS, I'll definitely respond, and of course share the contact of Mr. Isemen with you. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Yeah, my brother, good morning. Finally, for today, please, let us be very careful. I'm not always happy to people suffer, and that's not the will of God for us. Do you know what has been happening since the creation of Akwa Ibom? Few people have been doing things that create the problems for millions of people in the land, and God is not happy. Like what you call a market along with manner, 3 people just to convince the government to change the name from your modern market to that devilish name. But two of them are dead now. One that is remaining has revealed a lot of things. My brother, maybe may not make it public yet, but very soon the whole world will know. But I told you that name of that market has changed from today. Never that wicked name again.
Of course, we head to social media platform where we get to take some more comments. Parliamentarian Noyidion says, good morning, parliamentarians. Please, the governor should try all his best to see that the Traditional Rulers Council Amendment Bill issues have been resolved amicably with the inclusive of all the tribe in the state Traditional Rulers Council leadership for the unity of Akwa Ibomites. President Tinubu launching 25,000 naira conditional cash transfer is commendable, but I wish that this money here will have been channeled to fixing our refineries in the country so that the price of fuel, which controls our economy, will come down. That will have been so wonderful. That's from Parliamentarian Noye Idiong. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Morning.
Please walk away from your radio set, Parliamentarian.
This is Mentor. I'm calling from Edet.
All right, go ahead, Mentor. Sorry, lost connection with Parliamentarian Mentor. I do hope you get to call back. Parliamentarian Samuel Ewok says, good morning, Mr. Speaker. His Excellency, you is a man of peace. Okay, I guess you're referring to His Excellency is a man of peace here. I believe so much in his leadership, judging from his body language. I'm not among those praise singers who will always praise due to stomach infrastructures. I will always give kudos to people when they do well and criticize constructively when something is wrong. Very right. That's the right way to go. Regarding the issue of the traditional rulers, please, His Excellency should not mind those who wish to use his government to create disunity among brothers. Akwa Ibom is one, thus there should be no room for segregation, biases, bigotry, and nepotism. Please, whatsoever decision will be made, let's consider rotation of such office. You are a man of peace. God be with you. All right, very well stated there by Parliamentarian Samuel Ewok. The governor has put himself out as a man of peace, a man who seeks to reconcile the state across, divides, and that is very much commendable. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. I'm Mike, calling from you, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome, Parliamentarian Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to make a little input and a concern for that matter. Whatever regards to do with our traditional institution in this state, Mr. Speaker, I keep on asking, all the title they want to take for themselves, of whose interest? What will that has to do with the present situation in Akwa Ibom State? Would it change the economic situation in Akwa Ibom State? I mean, all these big titles. Whether you are the supreme, whatever supreme that you were, I'm not against it. That is a respected institution. But I'm asking, with all these titles, what they are struggling for, what will it bring to the Akwa Ibom people? What will happen with all these titles to the private people? Of whose interest is my question? Because when you see the way some of the paramount rulers are doing things, I'm saying this as an insider. I know what I'm saying. It's not as if I'm accusing anybody. I've been piloting almost the palace. I know almost all of them, their lifestyle. But I'm asking, is it for the interest of their subjects in each of the local government they belong to? I don't want to believe, Mr. Speaker, because I know what I'm saying and I know what I'm saying. I can assure you. There was a program that we arranged. We took something to one of the parliament rulers, which I don't want to mention him, to share the other chief that is under him. Mr. Speaker, you will not believe what happened at the end of it all. Out of the number of cows that we gave, for him to share one cow to each village to the chiefs, we rather kill one cow and distribute parts to this village and allow the remaining cow. So I know what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker. None of them had the interest of their subject at heart. They just forgot that they are the custodians of the custom, and that is why they are shying away from their traditional rules they used to play during function. You hardly see any of the paramount leaders doing the normal thing during maybe a state function or whatever. They will not do their primary assignment in this function as they used to do. That what we want to see traditional rulers will do in each of the functions, maybe is organized by the state government. They don't do it again because they know their hands are stained with all things that is not relevant to their institution. You go to the National Assembly, you see Saka. You come to the state, we are turned to politics of interest. They are only compensating those people so that they are preparing them for the next time election. It's not for the interest of the people.
Thank you very much, Parliamentarian. Very grave concern raised there. Not seeing our traditional leaders pour libation. That's like the third time I've had these conversations with people. I mean, we know that we grew up in a state where when functions were being held, we have the pastors pray, and then we have the royal fathers, representing our culture, pouring libation, and all of those things. In as much as people would say, a lot has changed, but tradition hasn't changed. Religion exists side by side with tradition, and those calls have been made across quarters for us to go back. But then, the very big question we'll have to ask ourselves is, how many of these traditional rulers who are given certificates today come from the true royal lineage across the respective communities? All of us know, dating back to the ancient days when we had royalties coming from the traditional, the family bloodline, the true blue bloods across the different communities. If we had followed through, then you know that these people have the backing of the spiritual backing of the land. But where you see, royalty now being pushed and politicized, it raises a whole lot of questions. How many, for those who are very much rooted in a tradition, how many of these royal fathers can walk into our traditional institutions and come out, whole and hearty? That's a very big question that many people would ask. And then, of course, when you place that with pouring libation or performing the necessary traditional rites, a lot of questions will be asked as well. If you are not already inclined spiritually, if you do not have the spiritual backing of your ancestors and the long lineage of royalties from your community where you're representing, what guarantee is it that you can actually stand in the gap, to offer whatever services that you're supposed to do as a traditional, custodian of the law or mediating you should do? Well, it's a big conversation that will definitely maybe someday have to engage the traditional rulers themselves and get to find out the way forward. But heading back to our Facebook page, we see Parliamentarian Akwa Lebes, who says, the People's Parliament, good morning, Mr. Speaker. I commend the dear Governor for meeting with the paramount rulers for the peace of Akwa State. Let no one hit up the system, but remain calm and live at peace with each other as brothers and sisters. The size of ministerial appointees is a thing of concern for Nigerians under this present economic hardship. When we were expecting a minimum numbers of ministers to reduce the cost of governance, the call for the rejection of SUV vehicle by the Labour Party chairman may not be honored by the Labour Party legislators. You want them to be trekking to the office while their counterparts are enjoying. Politics in Nigeria is personal interest first before service to their constituents. That's coming from Parliamentarian Akwa Lebes. Well, we'll take a short pause here from Parliamentarian Akwa's comment on the Facebook page, and we head out to take one last call before we head out for a second recess. Good morning, Parliamentarian. You're live on plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome.
Please, this is Fred Morgan. Please, no facts. You first to call the number. You know my condition. Please, before you go, just one time, please.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, we're heading out to our second recess. When we do come back after second recess, we will be bringing you BBC The World in 2 minutes, and of course, a few more commercials on the reverse of 9 30 will be returning to the floor of the House to wrap up with our conversation this morning. Stay with us, parliamentarians. We'll be right back.
When we say
in the play. You get anybody we want to celebrate based on birthday, a wedding anniversary, shout out or even special message plus other mede. We just chicken in money. We go run for you foreign and local. All you need do now to ring us for calls or WhatsApp for 0702 558 0019 0702 558 0019 or 0916 984 0304 0916 984 0308. You fit still waka meleswe. Go with city office where they for number 2 South Plaza Close off Aka 89 Road. Oyo celebration. Opo.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on.
Be inspired and enjoy your late morning. 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Planet 101.1 FM. Work and never get bored with music while you work.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best.
Get treated to serene, tranquil, calm and friendly vibes on the frequency of the leaders of the Akwa Cross airwaves. Planet 101.1 FM.
I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved.
When music is this good, no way you're touching that dial.
I love you for 1,000.
wake up into the new planet from 5 a.m.
This is Planet in partnership with the B.
upskilled. Really, it is the excellent student experience that was promised.
For more information, please visit www.biu.edu.ng or call 091-5430-8877. Benson Dahosa University, lead the change.
What's in a woman? Women carry a worth more prestigious than fine stones. We are landmarks of triumph and integrity, humility, beauty, God-implanted power and poise. Women always have to be strong, for often our meekness is misconceived as weakness.
This woman's weakness is love.
Every Thursday, 11 to 11:45 a.m. The Woman's Diary on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Don't miss it.
Weeks deadline to implement 35,000 naira wage award as President Tinubu launches 25,000 naira conditional cash transfer. Of course, Labour Party chairman urges Labour legislators to reject SUV assembly gift, described move as insensitive to Nigerians suffering. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, other parliamentarians. Thank you for having me to this plenary. I'm Comrade Mr. Striker.
Welcome.
Mr. Speaker, taking a look at the motions on the other paper this morning on plenary, on Akwa State Governor Pastor Moino pledges to work for the state unity, fix dialogue with stakeholders to resolve issues on traditional institutions amended law. Mr. Speaker, it is a welcome development that the state governor meets with the traditional rulers yesterday in a move to douse tension in the state. And from the information coming from that meeting yesterday, it shows that the meeting was fruitful and productive. I have observed that the governor always uses peaceful approach to big issues, and I want to encourage him on that part. Also, on motion number 4 on the national chairman of Labour Party, calling on Labour Party legislators to reject the SUV assembly car gift, as he described the move as insensitive to Nigerian suffering. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that a situation where the resources of this country are used for the benefit of those in government only is not healthy for the nation's development. It makes the rich to get richer, while the poor get poorer. So I think it is insensitive to be adding more vehicles, because we recall when they start this administration, the legislators were given vehicles. So giving them another SUV vehicle is still addition with the present economic situation. So I support that call. I'm Comrade in and Striker. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, parliamentarian. Of course, heading back to our Facebook page, we see parliamentarian Etini Silas, who says the People's Parliament, Labour Party urging their legislators to reject SUV gift is a good one, but dead on arrival in reality. I don't see any legislator that will reject the offer despite party affiliations, and even if they do you think the money will be channeled to something productive that will benefit the masses? So as much as I'm so disappointed in our legislative chamber, even when we have a multi-party representation, but still, rubber stamp legislature, so sad. That's coming from parliamentarian 18 Salas. Parliamentarian Solomon ACN says, the People's Parliament, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please, where the 31 paramount rulers attended the meeting as was convened by His Excellency, I asked because I read 18 paramount rulers appended their signature on the apologies to His Excellency as published. Mr. Speaker, Wikipedia defined perpetuity as endless or indefinitely long duration or existence, eternity. Since this has been the bone of contention, has anything been said on it? Mr. Speaker, I wish this amended law made available to guide our sentiment and impute. All right. Of course, so far, we see that the governor said before they can walk into the amended law, the court cases that have been instituted by different sections of the traditional institution and different sections of Akwa Ibom needs to be withdrawn so the state doesn't act in contempt of court. We do hope that the governor would be true to his word and be able to resolve this in the interest of all Akwa Ibomites. But moving away, parliamentarian Douglas Peter says, good morning, the People's Parliament. I hope budget was adequately provided for the travel expenses of the first son. He can be traveling with his friends in one of the leased aircraft in the presidential air fleet. I was not happy when I saw the type of aircraft that conveyed him and his friends to watch a polo game in Kano State. As the first son, he deserves something bigger and better. A brand new Airbus A350-1000 would be a bad idea. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will put this nation on the right path. Or all our politicians will now be seen as forgers and it will be normalized. Take him to court. The court ruling is what will convince the public. I'm sure this could be the handwork of APC Labour Party chairman, but Obi submitted his credential to INEC and nobody noticed any controversy until after Chigako's saga. Douglas Peter from Benin. Well, Douglas Peter, I cannot make any meaning out of your contributions this morning. I would wish you would, do this comment again. Let us know directly. What exactly are you saying? What's a twisted and lacking direction? Sorry to use the word, but you need to let us know exactly where you are headed with your comments so that all parliamentarians can properly understand and thus be able to, respond accordingly. Parliamentarian Annie Michael says, good morning, Mr. Speaker, and all the parliamentarians. Honestly, the whole political undercurrent approach to the Akwa Ibom elevation to a first-class chief matter is divisive to Akwa Ibom people. Governor Umaina said at the meeting on Tuesday, October 17, in his address that if they check carefully, that is not the problem. You don't handle such matter with a sense of military orientation because a first-class chief is alien to a culture in Akwa Ibom. Go and study the Kano Emirship. You will see that there is so much history to it, very different from ours. We are trying to introduce it to Akwa Ibom people. You have to let the people understand ab initio the fine details of it without any sense of agenda or secrets in mind. It is the law trying to stratify the ethnic groups in the bone of contention with the TRC Cap 155. From my survey, this is the crux of the matter and why we are where we are on the matter. I repeat, monarchy is the least of our problems as a state now. If we can't get it right, let's revert to status quo with the law. The way out is to repeal the TRC law as amended. I'm for the unity of Akwa Ibom State, Annie Michael, or Koita, Ibom local government area. Well, thanks, Parliamentarian Annie Michael, for joining us this morning and for your contributions. Some salient points raised there that has been shared by many parliamentarians also this morning. Parliamentarian Samuel Iwok says, okay, we've taken this comment. We go to Parliamentarian Comrade Moses. His son says, good morning to everyone in the House. Good morning to you, Parliamentarian Comrade. We head back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Hello, good morning, Parliamentarian. Okay, I have to let you go there. I do hope that you can call back to be able to make your comment and contribution this morning. Ibom State Governor Pastor Umaina is pledged to work for the state's unity and is seeking dialogue with stakeholders to resolve issues of the traditional institutions' amended law. We also saw that Tinubu's appointees are to get their first performance review by January. Recall when President Ahmed Bola Tinubu took over office on the 29th of May 2023, he made some very salient pronouncement, one of such being that political appointees will have to be reviewed. Of course, we saw Governor Pastor Moino also making the same comment, which he reiterated during the ASCO retreat in Lagos State, that government appointees will have their performance being reviewed periodically to assess the level of work being done in order to ensure that they were on track and also ensure that, there is result being given in terms of the blueprint of his administration, talking about the rise of gender in Akwa Ibom State and talking about the renewed hope agenda at the federal level led by President Tinubu. Of course, also shortly after the ministers were inaugurated, 4 to 5 of them, and then of course we had the recent 3 that were added to the numbers still growing on the list of political appointees. Some of the conversations, one of the things that Tinubu did say was that the appointees of government were given 3 years marching order to ensure that there is result across board as far as government ministries, departments and agencies and the renewed hope agenda's implementation is concerned. Now we're seeing that there's going to be periodic review of their works, and we'll look at the performance so far of the different ministers. We know the likes of former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, came in with a very loud, thunderous, comment to the FCT and what he intends to do as a minister. And shortly after that, we've seen some of the actions that is taking so far in the FCT, from the ultimatum given to people who have undeveloped land, to the demolition of properties, to the warnings that has been given. And of course, we're also talking about the fact that he's made some very significant structural changes to the leadership of the FCT. All of these happening within the span of a month plus since he took over office as the minister of the FCT. We see Dr. Beta Edu on the social investment also talking very tough. For the first time, we're seeing the federal government questioning the international donor agencies as far as the utilization of funds is concerned. We're also seeing different moves to probe the Empower program, which of course Nigerians have kicked against and argued that the money has never really gotten to the right hands, and even the one that gets to the hands are being cut and cut and cut and cut. By the time it gets to the beneficiaries, it has reduced significantly in value. And of course, we also talked about the trade money or the trader money or market money that was part of the social investment scheme of the former the outgone administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, which of course has been reintroduced or will be reintroduced by November, precisely with an increase from 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira across board. The concern has always been on the implementation. The concern has always been how much can this paltry sum do for our business women and men, and of course for the people who have been described as the poorest of the poor. We see this morning that Wale Edun has said Nigerians have about 84 million people who are living in abject poverty. In as much as he said that that is not acceptable by President Tinubu. But when you put that side by side with the fact that we are voting hundreds of millions to buy SUV for National Assembly members, while just a paltry sum of 25,000 naira is being given to individuals, which is not even going to be sustained for more than 6 months or 3 months or thereabout, then you raise a question as to who is really committed to making sure that poverty is alleviated in Nigeria. These are different concerns that have been raised by, different parliamentarians, technocrats, people across the length and breadth of Nigeria. And the call is on President Tinubu to prioritize actually bringing about programs that will benefit the Nigerian people. Time now to go back to the full length. Of course, the number is still 0902-223-1011-0817-624-8565. That's the line that will get you straight to the floor of the House to join the conversation this morning. Head back to take some more comments. Of course, we'll be doing that side by side with the few minutes that we have left in plenary with your calls. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary. Yes, welcome. Yes, I'm with you, parliamentarian. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I want to commend His Excellency, Pastor Matthew Moore, on the releasing of funds to be paid for as a gratuity to the primary school teachers and local government retirees. I want use of sum of money to be released to this kind of to this set of people. They are lawmakers. Why the masses, the average people, the average citizen of Nigeria are on the street begging, crying due to the hard economy. I want to add my solution on this, that the president should have channeled this money into resuscitating our refinery so that the PMA petrol, petrol can be made available for all Nigeria to end their movement. So I want to condemn this particular action. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for having me.
All right, thank you very much, Parliamentarian. But let me clarify, not a madam, but a Mr. But thanks for joining us this morning. Of course, another call there made for the presidency to prioritize investment in the Nigerian people. Good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me on today's edition of the People's Parliament. I am Comrade Ibom. I'm calling from you. Mr. Speaker, it is very glaring why some of our leaders fought putting their neck to ensure that democracy return in Nigeria. An average Nigerian could understand that indeed they wanted a situation that nobody would checkmate their excesses in government. Mr. Speaker, who has done this to us? In the midst of this economic sabotage, we see the federal government giving National Assembly members cars worth 180 million and 50 million respectively. Mr. Speaker, this is a height of insensitivity. Who does this? Who has done this to us, Mr. Speaker? Nigerians are going through a lot. You are giving Nigerians 25,000 naira audio money monthly for 3 months. And you are giving our National Assembly members, one person 180 million. Mr. Speaker, what has happened to us in Nigeria? Mr. Speaker, I could remember during military regime, any government that does not perform is taken off through a coup. I can see that they were not comfortable because they knew that they're not going to perform. It happened in 1984 when our immediate past president was the head of state. He was not performing. He was taken off that seat through a coup in 1984. So they were afraid that such thing could happen, and they fought back democracy and threw it back at our faces. Mr. Speaker, this is very sad for Nigeria, Mr. Speaker. Our leaders, the federal government has to be circumspect in issues of governance. Why should they continue to be doing this at all times? And Nigerians have been complaining, and they don't pay any attention to it. Mr. Speaker, if you are not suffering, go to the streets, go to Plaza, go around the streets in Akwa. Let's say you will hear the pulse of the people. That people are hungry. And the former deputy governor of Central Bank, Kingsley Moghalu, had proposed for a 50% slash of salary earnings from our National Assembly members. And you will see, Mr. Speaker, they will oppose that move. They can't accept that move.
Of course, that has been widely appreciated. Moghalu talking yesterday about the need for us to slice down the salary of National Assembly workers, which, of course, many have said would be a move taken in the right direction. But whether or not we will see the National Assembly actually somebody moving that motion, and that motion, going through the necessary legislative process and becoming a law that is being enacted in the interest of Nigerians, is a question that leaves a lot, in fact, generality of Nigerians puzzle. In the event that happens, it would be a very great miracle. And of course, many have said that would change the narrative and would show the commitment on the part of our politicians towards ensuring that the renewed hope agenda at federal level actually brings hope to Nigerians. But outside of that, it's going to be another request made by well thought out Nigerian, and of course, that will only end in the conversations in the media, and that's all there will be to it. But of course, this goes down to question the level the people that we have, elected into offices and what interests they actually prioritize, whether it's their personal interest or that of the generality of Nigerians. Heading back to our Facebook page, parliamentarian Prince Anetintia says that the People's Parliament, the whole issue of the TRC law and the remapping of Akwa Ibom State is part of the failures of the former governor. 130 million for cars, while I am looking for just 200,000 naira to expand my little business. This is national robbery. Their salaries should be cut by 50%. That is coming from parliamentarian Prince Anietie Ntia. Okay, of course, parliamentarian Anye Kanidem says, good morning, parliamentarian. There is nothing like dividend of the democracy in Nigeria because our frontline core leaders are working for their personal interest, not for the enduring and hopeless citizens. Abasimbo Wamyan and Yekanino Senidem from Parinian. Thanks for joining us this morning. Of course, those are the lineup of comments we'll take this morning. One last call and we'll wrap it up. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the plenary.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, welcome.
And then we made the best moment from there.
All right, your last take and briefly, parliamentarian.
I want to say, let Nigeria use Nigeria money and build a refinery so that all Nigeria will benefit. Even when the gas transfer sharing of the policy, you see no reshape body. That's policy something in my community, no reshape body. So that is why I say let Nigeria use our money and build a refinery so that poor and rich. And I still remind you, when you want to go, please give me that number one more time, please. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, parliamentarians. Of course, the last comment on our Facebook page before we call it a wrap this morning, we see that parliamentarian Bro John says the People's Parliament, the issue of traditional law by Pastor Omoino should not be an issue for discussion when he, as a governor, has not started hitting the ground running by creating jobs for the youths, provide 24 hours electricity and revamp incapacitated factories by turning them into industrial growth where Akwa Ibom State can produce enough in meeting the demands of the people, added with the Ibaka deep seaport that is yet to be operational. Labour should stop this habit of pampering the government. If they fail to implement issues, go for strike. Labour Party urging their members to reject SUV assembly gift is a good one, Omen, but will this corrupt system bow to their demands? That's coming from parliamentarian Bro John. And of course, that's the size of a comment. We see the last comment, parliamentarian Bonatino Tino says the SUV to drive in a bad road in a poor economy government. We have a country to fix, not to share national cake. God bless you, sir, Governor, for your move. I thank you very much, Benito, for joining us. That's the size of a package this morning. I'd like to appreciate you parliamentarians for always being there to be part of the conversations. Truly appreciate you joining via the Facebook page. You listen on the go on our website, www.planet101fm.ng. Of course, you who called in through the phone lines, thank you so much for making it a worthwhile conversation as we continue to work towards the advancement of our state and country. Francis Edet is my name. Wishing you a very best, beautiful day. Happy Ladies Day for all the women of the world, parliamentarians. Of course, ensure to be a law-abiding citizen and pray for our states, our countries, and our leaders. Have a blessed day. From me to you is bye-bye. And I'll leave us with these songs and need for us to heal the world and heal each other. We are the world, and of course, heal the world by party ranking and the conglomerates of artists.
Revolving around you.
She a feeling school OGP now. False prophet them preaching now. Fake thing them teaching now. The girl them bleaching now. And the boy them snitching now. Who am I to do the judging now? When everything is not original. Bad mind and grudging now. For the Lord it in a put me now.